Ladies and gentlemen, this fine young man rocket was born in Kitchener, Ontario, but was raised here in Sudbury. Let me tell you guys, he has a great resume, so bear with me. He was drafted in the fourth round, 77th overall by North Bay Battalion in 2015 into the Ontario Hockey League. He was also NOJHL Rookie of the Year in 2015-2016, tallying up 72 points. Over a span of 5 years in the OHL, he played 263 career games. 22 of those 263 were with the Sudbury Wolves. This individual racked up 177 points in that span, along with finding the score sheet elsewhere, tallying up 273 penalty minutes. Not to mention, he was the captain of the North Bay Battalion in his last year. He recently just committed to the University of Ottawa to become a GG for their men's program. We are pleased to be joined by a guy in the name of Bradley Chenier to the Behind the Bench podcast. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, boys. I'm excited to be here, and we're following along. You guys are doing very well for yourselves, and representing the North pretty well.
Love it.
Thanks,
Good
buddy. Yeah,
stuff.
thanks. I worked on an intro, Chenier, for I'm gonna say the last 48 hours. I had to make sure my sentence structure was good because I get
Pump the
heckled a lot
tires.
by Chimino that my English isn't very good, so I had to make sure the
A
tire pump
couple
was good.
edits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You nailed it. That was pretty good. I didn't want to have to tell you it, so holy.
Where are you situated right now? Are you in Ottawa? Or are you in Sudbury taking school?
I'm in Ottawa right now. We're lucky enough. We're practicing right now full time. On the ice every day and stuff. So obviously it's a little bit better than Sudbury with the gray zone, but yeah, I'm here for now, and then I think Easter I'm coming back for good for a while there.
Good stuff.
That's nice. How was the first university treating you? I know school online sucks, but to have this in your first year is not really ideal. So how's that going so far?
Oh man, it's been a long year, I think, for everyone. This COVID stuff is really dragging on. Um, I mean, it's been over a year since anyone really played a game of hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this online stuff. But other than that, I mean, the organization and the facilities they have right now that we're able to use are great. The program's great. Speaks for itself last year. So, I'm excited obviously to get things going. And we got a few new recruits this year that are doing pretty well in the queue there. So I'm excited for this, the future of the school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big
And
time.
Jim, yeah, I think you know because I told you this before, but I've watched many men's games before, and this team started what 4 years ago, Shinya? I think the program started.
Yeah, they had a little bump in the road. They had some things go on. Obviously, I don't know all the details, but they got shut down for a bit, and then they just were kind of regrouped there, and they're back at it now. And over the last 3 years, they've really, done some substantial things in the league.
Yeah,
For
I
sure.
know they've been solid for sure.
They just dummy
Um,
Laurentian every time they play them anyway.
and
So.
and they got that Q connection like you mentioned, which is huge. A bunch of guys coming over from GAT. Big
Yeah,
time.
it's crazy, man. I mean, I think it's only me and Nick Matten, that played in the O on our team this year.
That's crazy.
I mean, you see a team like Ryerson or any of those guys, they're all from the O. I mean,
Yeah.
U of T, every single guy on that roster is from the OHL, and we only have two, me and Matt's.
That's unreal. Didn't know that. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
So is masks? Do you have to wear masks on the ice, or is that optional right now?
So you gotta do your COVID assessment. You get there.
Yeah.
You gotta get dressed with a mask on. And then as soon as you're done getting dressed, you can just whip it off and then just go on the ice, play, and then you get back in the room. You got to put on the mask, no shower and stuff. So
Jesus. Yeah,
it's
it's the same for my girlfriend too because she actually has to wear a mask, which is weird because the women's program has to, but the guys don't. But
that's
the
weird, man.
the guys are, I guess, the guys are a priority. So, let's take a step right from the start here, Shani. So I didn't know that you were born in Kitchener. So when did you make the move over to Sudbury?
Yeah. So I obviously was born in Kitchener. My family was from Sudbury, so they were born and raised in Sudbury, and then um, they moved from Manitoba, and so then they moved to Kitchener. So my mom's family's from Kitchener. So then I ended up being born there, and I think I was 7 or 8 when they decided to move back to Sudbury. Nothing really. My dad got a new job, so we transferred over, and ever since then, I'm kicking around in Sudbury. That's when I met. I actually played house league with Giroux. That's where I met Giroux. Was
Yeah.
Valley's Renegades.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, after being cut from Richard Walker's farm our rep team, so I found myself with the Renegades.
Well, you kept pushing, which is good. You kept on the beaten path. Yeah. So, what age did you start playing hockey?
I was 3, I think, 3,
Yeah.
4. Wasn't obviously very good. Kind of a Bambi skater all over the place. Baseball was actually my sport, funny enough, growing up. I played
Gotcha.
baseball my whole life. So, and then finally decided to go to hockey.
Yeah. So, like, what was that moment for you where you realized, like, yeah, I'm gonna step away from baseball and like I got a shot at this hockey thing that I'm gonna run with? When was that moment for you?
Um, I want to say so. So I finally made the rep team. So you do hockey in the winter, then baseball was a thing in the summer. My mom really wanted me to kind of switch it up. Obviously, you play hockey like some of these kids now, 12 months of the year. It kind of gets old and you get sick and tired of it, right? So
Hmm.
my mom was big on switching it up. So so I was doing both, and then all of a sudden, so this was probably I want to say 13, 14. So now it's time to get serious. There, your minor
Yeah.
random. And that's when we kind of, I sat down with my family and I said, kind of, I'm done with baseball. Let's kind of go to hockey here. And, obviously, I picked the right sport. Baseball is obviously really hard to get into.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of, discussion between my family and I, and we went with it.
Good stuff. Yeah, Tom.
Jim, he knew that the girls like hockey players more. That's why he gave up baseball. Nah, just kidding, Chenier.
Yeah, so you played Nickel City basically all the way up, right?
Yep.
And then okay, so the midget year you guys combined. So that was the first year I think they combined the two teams, midget and Nickel City. What was that like making that like it was basically like a super team of that year? What was it like?
Yeah. So, obviously grew up. So I was in Hanmer, so I had to play for Nickel City. So, obviously Sudbury and Nickel City was a big rival.
Yeah.
Guys like Felix Cote would take my head off every time.
Yeah.
It's funny to look back at now because me and Felix are, the best buddies.
Yeah.
Best buddies ever. So, it was cool because that year, so they put the teams together, but I think it was your year, Tommy, that they actually had a league. My year, they didn't have a league.
Yes, it
Right.
was.
So we were playing
Every tournament
you could possibly play and getting pounded, dude. Like, it wasn't even funny, man. Like we wouldn't even make it to Saturdays, dude. Like it was bad. So we have this team, which is basically Team NOAJ, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's everyone who's gonna make team except a couple guys from the Sioux and whatnot. So we didn't have a league. So we're going in and we're playing AA teams. So we're playing like Coppercliff and
Right, because you guys were AA elite. They couldn't
Double
cut
A
just
elite,
triple A. Yeah.
we get a couple exhibition games just so to get some hockey going because practicing you can only do so much. But then these teams, man, they didn't give a shit, dude. They were trying to take our heads off. Like, they wanted to kill us, man. Like I remember it was me and a couple guys, like Chris McInnes at the time, our head coach, would scratch us. He would say, "You guys aren't playing." Like they would seriously try to kill. It was bad, man. It was like
Holy shit.
behind headshots. Like it was nuts. So then again, we go to tournaments and you're playing the Marlies and the Quinty and dude, like kill us, man. 8-1, 9-1, man. It was tough, dude. It was tough.
That is
we had a
crazy.
great time.
Oh yeah. Obi was on your team that year too, wasn't he?
Yeah, we had Obes, we had Clavel, Felix, Carter Renault.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, way back. Oh yeah.
Holy shit. Did LaValle play that year? Big
No,
Cheese?
he didn't come up, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yes.
he was. Where was he? Was he with me that
Was
year?
he
I don't
Austria?
even-
No,
Maybe
Austria
not.
was
He
later.
rolled out.
Oh yeah, he was in Austria. You're right, for
Yeah.
Red Bull Academy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think he left that year. That's funny.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you're friends with Felix because he was the Wolves and you were Nickel City, and it's the same thing for me. Like Brett's now one of my best friends, and we played each other growing up all year. Now it's
Yeah.
weird how you become best friends after that. But a little bit on the brighter side, after that struggling year you had, Chenier, you get drafted in the fourth round by the Battalion. So was this like, I'm gonna say, a shock to you from this organization, or were they in contact with you basically all year and you kind of had an idea that North Bay was gonna draft you?
So it was weird how it planned out. So I was actually supposed to go earlier than I originally went. I was supposed to go to actually Kitchener. I was supposed to go to Kitchener. They were the most interested. So we went off and obviously didn't get drafted by Kitchener. I had briefly talked to North Bay because of Steve Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then, so obviously, you watch the first 3 rounds on TV. Obviously, I didn't get picked. So then I actually went in the shower because this was early. I had Ryder over, Felix, Nick Choquin. So I had all my buddies over. And so I'm in the shower and everyone starts running over and I'm washing my hair. I'm like, what's going on? Like, and anyway, so I get drafted by the battalion. No idea what to expect, right? Because they had just lost in the OHL final, right?
Right.
Right.
So they were a stacked team, man, with Nick Paul,
Right.
Goodrow,
Goodrow, yeah.
Adil. So now I'm like a little nervous here. I'm like, oh, like I got some work to do. So I ended up going to camp. So I didn't sign in camp. So then they like, yeah, come back to main camp. So I go to main camp, and then so Stan Butler says, I like what you're doing. I want to sign you. But it was more or less like a call-up card. I only had 9 games. So obviously I did that and went to go play the year in Rayside. And obviously nothing disrespect from Stan. I had no idea who he was, how he coached. And, I found out very quickly how he coached. Yeah, anyway. So, so that was a good time. It gave me kind of the best of both worlds. I wasn't quite ready to move away from home yet, even though North not far at all. At 16, it's still something.
Big time.
So it was nice to, get those minutes I needed with Rayside. And, learning from the older guys, and then also getting, the best of both worlds where I get to go play in North Bay, enjoy that experience in the OHL. So, looking back at it now, I wouldn't want it any other way.
For sure.
Yeah.
Did Sudbury ever talk to you at all? During
wow, that
I didn't talk.
Shocker.
That's like what a joke. Oh my god, that's crazy. Yeah, Tom, you got Rayside,
yeah. So you mentioned Rayside, Chenier, and I still remember watching that playoff run you had, and you had line mates of Goldman and Erickson. You guys like dominated all year. So what do you remember most about that year in particular? Because you guys made a run to, you guys lost in the semifinals, I believe.
No, it was first round to Elliott Lake.
First round.
I think it was game 6, game 5.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? It was a cool year. I mean, I played with Kevin LaBelle,
right.
Kyle Franson, Owen Franson. There was a lot of ups and downs that year. A couple guys quit. It was only Casey and I that were 16 on the team. We had lost a teammate, Sam Oden.
Right.
He got in an accident there. So it was definitely a year of ups and downs. We had the pieces together. We ended up getting Mackenzie. What's his last name?
I
don't know why I can't think of it.
We'll edit this. This is a
hacker, man. RHP.
I know exactly.
Mackenzie Savard.
Savard.
Holy.
Yeah.
So, we were a good team. We grinded. Obviously learned a lot from Erickson. He had an incredible year, and then we picked up Otis there. So, it was good, man. I think one game we had 21 points combined for a line.
Crazy.
It was nuts.
Dominated.
It was nice, obviously to get that exposure and actually play, because it's tough to get ice time as a 16-year-old in the OHL, right? So that definitely boosted my confidence. I learned a lot from them. They're great guys, and I really enjoyed my time in junior.
Right. Yeah, Tom.
Chimino, before you move on to the next question, so you got Rookie of the Year with 72 points as a 16-year-old in that league. Was there anybody relatively close points wise, or even like caliber wise compared to you?
I truthfully, I think the closest one had like 65 or 62 points.
Okay.
It took me a while to get going. I think I had 3 points maybe the first 10 games. Because it's not as big of a jump, I'll say.
Yeah.
From my hockey to junior. But obviously it's still a jump. I'm still a kid. These guys are shaving, they're men, you know what I mean? I'm still a child. So it took me a while to adjust and kind of get used to that speed, the size. But when it did, it just started going, everything, it just
started clicking. Yeah. Good stuff.
Sometimes you throw it on and it's going, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like Chimino at the bar. He knows when to step
up. So year 2. So what was the mindset going in after your year in the Knowledge? Like, did Stan kind of tell you where you were slotted? Like what he's expecting of you coming into camp that year 2?
Yeah. So year 2, It was a tough year for us. Obviously, we didn't make the playoffs that year. First time in a long time for the organization, the battalion. So it was a setback. But before the season even started, Stan is a very ambiguous guy. He's not very clear. So there was really no slot for me to go.
Yeah.
It was, if you're in the lineup, just play hard. And,
Yeah.
that's the way it goes. So I ended up playing with Zach Poirier, and he kept slotting another right winger in here and there. So we ended up playing together. And, I kind of, the roles really changed. Obviously with a great year that I had in Rayside, I had that kind of extra pressure on me, the extra weight on my shoulders. Because, I had to contribute, obviously. And I think my first year I had 9 points, something like that. So it wasn't a great year, first year in the OHL for me. The confidence was low. I started fighting a little bit more, hitting a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to do what I could to, get the team going.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it was different. It was tough for me, obviously, having such a good year and then, kind of spiraling downhill from there. So, obviously that summer was big for me, and I tried to do what I could, really.
Yeah, big time. I don't know what year it was. I think it was your first year. Did you get preseason games your first year with the battalion, or was it the
Yeah,
second
my
year?
16-year-old year, I played.
Okay. I remember you scored a penalty shot in Sudbury. I videotaped it. I DM'd it to you. I
Yeah,
DM'd it to you.
ball.
That's right, 5-0. It was
Yeah, I
sick.
still
I
remember that.
remember that. Yeah.
Oh, that's when we had those big, the visors were huge, man. They were
Huge.
all they would clog up. Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you mentioned kind of a little bit about Stan. Like, what is it? Like, the guy's got quite the reputation. What is it like playing for Stan Butler? Like, what do you compare him to, like an NHL coach? Is he like a Torts, like a Babcock? Like, what's he like?
You know what? You can say what you want about Stan. I love playing
Yeah,
for Stan. He was a guy who wouldn't beat around the bush. I mean, he's old fashioned. If you
I
played
like
like
that.
shit, you played like shit. He would let you know.
Yeah,
And the thing with Stan is he says this all the time, but he only kind of beaks at you and chirps you if he loves you. You know what I mean? If he
yeah,
cares, wants to see you succeed. So some guys obviously take it harder than they should. I remember, um, I remember, I got off the ice and I obviously had a bad game. I think it was past 4. Oh, yeah, that was a terrible game. I'm walking in, we're pissed, we lost. I get Shenny, come here, we're going to my office. I know I'm gonna get absolutely ripped
yeah.
apart. So I get undressed, I shower up, and I go in the office, and he sits me down. And he goes, "What are you doing out there?" I go like, "Yeah, I know I didn't play very well." He goes, "No, like I drafted you for a reason. Like, what the fuck are you doing out there? Like, not who I drafted." Anyway, he started ripping me apart, and oh, it was bad, man. He just tore me apart. But
Yeah,
I needed that. You need that push, and you need that, that go.
give you a kick in the ass. Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
need the kick in the ass to get
yeah.
going. Other than that, dude, I loved him. He's a great guy. If you needed something, he would help you.
That's awesome.
Great person. So, just coach old style. That's all it was.
Yeah, good. What was he a pregame speech guy? Like, did he get you fired up before a big game, or was there someone else that took that role?
So we actually, it was different in North Bay. So we actually had these like pre-rituals where we would have like certain guys kind of fire you up.
Yeah, yeah,
Every game was a different guy who kind of, brought that energy and that compete to the game, that game. And if we win, you do it again. So Stan would just do, his normal, we got to get pucks deep, stuff like that.
yeah, yeah.
But no, we really took it upon ourselves to kind of get the boys going. It was definitely a rare occasion in North Bay where it was different for sure, unique.
Cool. I like
is
that.
cool.
That's different. I haven't heard anything like that before.
Yeah, it was
I like
nuts.
that.
We'd go in a
Yeah.
circle, and the guy would be in the middle of the circle, yelling, screaming, saying whatever.
Yeah.
But it was great, man. It was.
Love that. That's sick.
And my next question, Shani, being obviously a northern podcast, you had the chance and opportunity to play with a guy like Justin Brazeau when he was a 13th round pick in the O. So how was it like to have him as a line mate, and obviously a guy from the north play with you? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely special. I actually remember playing against Brass. This is when I got called up for Major Midget, and we had a road trip in New Liskeard. And it's funny. You play with the guy in the O, and you play with him against him in Major Midget. The difference
Yeah.
is crazy. This guy is gifted. He's an incredible hockey player. Scoring 61 goals, tells you something.
Yeah.
It seems like every time you touch the puck, something would happen. Even if it's a nice pass, the simple things he would do right. 10 out of 10. Incredible person too. You're one of my best buddies. I talk to him every day still. Great guy, and I truthfully think that guy will make the NHL one day.
Yeah, big time. That's what they say. He's he's like a late bloomer, and
Yeah.
and the guy works his ass off, which I heard, and he just gets better. Yeah.
I mean, he's huge. His hands are gifted. He's just he's a good player. He's just got to put it all together here.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. So, kind of focusing on your game, like how would you define your game? Like you're not an overly bigger player. You said you fought that kind of stuff. Like what was Brad Chenier on the ice when you go? What would we see?
Yeah. So obviously, I kind of two different types of play. My first 2 years was hits, big hits, getting energy, fighting a lot.
Yeah.
Scoring the odd goal here and there. But I feel like the last 2 years of my career, I kind of found my confidence. I found that swagger I had in Rayside. I started putting up goals and putting up points and, getting that ice time that I thought I deserved. Obviously playing power play and penalty kill. It was definitely the confidence. I knew what I could do with the puck. Not being shaky and making turnovers and being a reliable and trustworthy guy that you can put on the ice, any time in the game. So, that goes with maturity as well, right? I mean, you come in the league at 16, 17, you're a kid.
Yeah.
Obviously ending the, 19, 20, you're starting to become a man. So, again, too, with playing games, right? I mean, 200 games down the line, you adapt. So,
Yeah.
just, I guess, kind of a gritty guy, I guess you could say, to answer your question.
Yeah. Love it. You have any memories from fights? I don't even know how many fights you got into, but do you have any ones that you remember most?
I've gone to a few actually. I remember we were down, I think 3-0 in Missy. I was fighting something McKinnon. All right, I'm Missy. And we were down 3-rip. I think this was the second or first period or something. So obviously this is first, second year. So, or maybe even third. Anyway, so I'm sick of it. We're getting pummeled, man. It's not good. So, I say, screw it. We ended up getting tangled. I think he fell on me or something. So I got up and I was like, we're going. I didn't even give him an opportunity. So
Yeah.
And I start flinging at him, man. I'm just going out. He's not even really ready. And I don't really give a shit. You know what I mean? So I'm feeding him. And anyway, so we score that off. And we ended up actually coming back and winning 4-3. And obviously it wasn't me, but, everyone kind of brought that on me.
That is awesome, dude.
So that was definitely one of the better ones.
That's a sick story.
And then I would say like 2019, 2020, you can correct me, was probably the biggest year for you in the OHL because you got awarded the captaincy. So what was it like being awarded a captain, and did they tell you in any unique way? How did that all go down?
Yeah, it's obviously a huge humbling experience. To be appointed to captaincy is obviously really special, for any organization. So yeah, Stan does it every beginning of the year. He calls in his leadership group. So we ended up all getting called in, and basically he just went around the table going, this year, guys, Shanny's going to be your captain. I think it's the best fit. Nothing really that special, to be honest. It's the guys who kind of made it special after they found out. They really obviously, gave me some hug and said we're well deserved and stuff like that. But, I knew coming into this season we were going to be a young team. I think we had our OAs or 3 OAs, I think 2 fourth years, and the rest, first, second, and third year. So it's a really young team. I knew that there was going to be work to do. And I couldn't be the stern kind of a dickhead captain. You know what I mean? I had to be, an accepting and teaching kind of captain. So it was a cool experience. I mean, obviously he didn't do as well as we hoped. And that just goes with saying, being a young team and not having that experience, right? So, still though, to this day, I still have no regrets. I love North Bay. I love the city of North Bay, and I still love all those guys. Talk to most of them every day. So, it was an incredible experience. Something I'll live through the rest of my life for sure.
Awesome.
And also midway through that year, We have to talk about this. You get traded back home to Sudbury. So what was that all like? You don't see it often that two captains go midway through the year for each other. So like, were
No.
you shocked by this, or like did you ask for this trade, or like how did that all go down?
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough to be really close with the GM, Adam Dennis. So, we sat down. This was a month before the deadline. So we sat
Mhm.
down. We kind of discussed our options. So he goes, Chenier, what do you want? And I said, I didn't want to go, truthfully. I love North Bay, but I did want that opportunity to, go to play because we weren't making playoffs in North Bay.
You want to win, yeah.
Right.
I want to win, exactly. So I sat him down and I was like, listen, if we continue like this and there's no hope, I'd like to get traded. I want to go to a contender. So he said, okay, give me some teams. So I think I gave him London, Sudbury, Peterborough because we were strong in the East, and a few teams like that. So whatever, we'll go down the line, and so now it's not looking good for North Bay, obviously. So I'm getting ready for a pregame skate, and he drags me off. He goes, hey, we're gonna go in the GM's office. We're gonna talk. So I was like, okay, well, I'm getting down. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
So he sits down. He goes, all right, well, you know what? We have Sudbury who wants you and London. I said, okay. He goes, where do you want to go? So ultimately, I chose Sudbury. I think it was, kind of the best fit for me. Knowing how they played them so many times. Obviously hometown.
Right.
So obviously that was a humbling experience, but that was a different experience, right? Because you go from playing these guys 8 times a year, and I fought a few on the team, like
Yeah.
what
And it's a rivalry. Like that's one of the biggest rivalries in the O.
That's what I mean. Like, you're battling night in, night out. You play these guys 8 times. Like, you develop these relationships where, like I'm gonna kill you, man. Like, I don't. Well, like, that was like, it was different. Obviously, it's like, holy shit. Like, the nerves are building up now. It's like, you're going home, man. Like, you know what I mean? But I was very fortunate. These guys welcomed me, with open arms. Guys like Carson, Gahula, and all these guys were amazing and made me feel at home. Even though I was at home, ironically.
Yeah, it's true. It's different. Yeah.
But yeah, they welcomed me, and we had a great time in Sudbury. Obviously winning the division there. But we could have done some damage, man.
Oh, I know that.
Our final stretch there, we beat. Obviously, Kingston was not very good, but I mean, we beat Ottawa. We beat SAG. We
was
were
looking so good. It was looking so good.
Quentin Byfield, like, dude, we were so good.
I know.
Like, oh man, we would have been good. And the East wasn't strong, man. We would have played Hamilton first round, and then we would have had either Oshawa or Peterborough, which I think are 2 beatable teams, and then we would have had Ottawa in the final. I don't know how that would have went. Obviously, considering Ottawa is unbelievable, but I mean, Quentin gets hot or goalie gets hot. Like, you have no idea. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, that was the only one. The one underlying factor was goaltending, but that other than that, like, you guys were solid, like rock solid.
Oh yeah,
going in, like
solid. Like, like obviously you have Byfield, Murray, Levin, me, Kars, Stillman was sick.
Stillman was good. Yeah,
guys, man.
Yeah,
Robinson, like, we were good, man.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, I know. It's too bad. That sucks. I feel so bad that it ended that way. Because and even like for Wolves fans, like, now we're gonna probably lose all those guys. Like, and it's gonna be a rebuild. It's gonna be a rebuild for a while now. All those guys are gone, which is crazy to think about. Like, then you get a 20-game season in the bubble. Like, who cares? Like, realistically,
I don't agree with that. I think it's so it takes roughly 10 games to get your team going. I mean, you can practice as much as you want, and I mean, if you ended up getting you go 3-7, like, your chance of playoffs are not looking good already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to drag this on through June and July, like,
that's a good point, because then you got to get restarted right away in September.
These guys have already been training for a year, man. Dude.
Yeah, you got a good point there, Brad. I like that. You got a good point there.
I know for myself, like, it would be tough to get into.
No kidding. I think for anyone, yeah, absolutely, that would be tough. That's crazy. That's a good point though. I like that. I like people are gonna like that point.
And Brad, when he says it like this, that he says he likes it like 6 or 7 times, you know that I'm gonna get a FaceTime after saying, Brad's smart. You know, like that one line that he
Brad knows
said
his
there.
shit. Yeah. Brad
Usually when
knows.
he says it 1 or 2 times, he's like, yeah, I kind of heard your answer. But when he says it like 6 or 7, you know for sure that.
No, that was good.
Student athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. So like kind of that rivalry with Sudbury and North Bay, like what's the difference between those two home barns? Like I know the atmosphere is nuts in both of them, but like is there any differences or similarities between the two? Playing in Memorial Gardens and the Sudbury Arena?
Yeah, so it was unfortunate. The year I got there, the fans kind of declined. They're still amazing fans, but I remember so all the draftees went to, I believe it was game 5 against Barrie, playoff game, and you couldn't move. It was packed, man. 4,700 fans, like the whole building was shaking. It was unbelievable. But North Bay, I don't know if you guys ever been to North Bay's rink.
Yeah.
In the facilities.
Yeah.
Amazing facilities, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful. They put a good chunk of money into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like things you kind of take for granted. But the year so obviously before I got traded, they just renovated everything. They got new weights, new machines, everything, man. Like they pimped it out. And you don't take these things for you take it for granted, man. Like, I mean, Sudbury has a nice rink and nice facilities, but I mean, compared to North Bay, it's not.
No, yeah, exactly.
It's nuts. Like it's something that you didn't even think about, but then you're like, holy shit! Like we had a ping pong area, a couch to lay down. We could watch a show together. Team bonding. It was incredible.
Yeah, that's wicked. Yeah, I kind of like the dynamic there. Like it's like seats all the way to the roof, and then like the brick on the one side. I always found that pretty cool. That like one brick spot. Yeah. And it's cool how they transformed that arena. It was the old Centennials arena, which was pretty cool. Yeah. So, and we're talking about arenas. I always ask this question every guest that's played in the Sudbury Arena. What are your thoughts on the situation right now? Where's your preference on the arena?
It's an old building.
Yeah.
No it's doubt. An old building. Obviously a lot of the things are outdated. But you know what? The bowl, I really like the bowl, man. When we were getting hot there, like it was, we were having some fans. Like, it was loud. The horn, the zoo was in, it was incredibly loud. Yeah. It's funny. It's different. You enjoy it when it's on your side, but when you're on the other side, it's the most annoying thing in the world. I remember this was home opener against Sudbury. We got pounded 11-2 or something like that. Yeah. And we heard that thing 11 times, man. Like, oh, dude.
And the Wolf coming to stare you down every time.
Yeah, dude. Dan wanted to rip that thing out of the room. Losing his mind.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I think it definitely needs to be updated. The room's nice. I think, maybe a bigger workout room would probably be the best.
Yeah. What do you think of the Kingsway spot? Do you think they should keep it downtown or move it?
I like that spot. I mean, I know it's a sketchier spot.
Yeah.
Than most, but I mean, you look at Ottawa. I mean, their NHL team. You put that rink downtown Ottawa, it would be full every night. But you have it 35 minutes away.
Yeah.
It doesn't fill. You know what I mean? I think the spot's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just needs to be renovated. That's all. Mm-hmm. Ice was good. Just the renovation.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool take. And again, another question we ask about the rink, you kind of said it about standing the Wolf. Wherever the rink goes, does the Wolf have to stay? You've seen it on both sides now. Does the Wolf stay?
I think the Wolf has some real estate in everyone's head. I swear to God.
Really?
Oh yeah, it pisses some guys off, man.
Come on, I would never think that Wolf would piss guys off.
Man. But like think of it, like I don't know, it's 8-2 or whatever. You have to see the Wolf come down. And the horn, man, is stupid loud.
Oh yeah, it is. It is stupid loud. Dario put that old train over it, old CP rail.
Yeah. All our coaches would have earplugs in, dude.
That's amazing. I love that. That is awesome. All right, let's get a little more. Yeah, Tom, you got a question.
Yeah, I gotta ask about Quentin Byfield. Obviously, he just went second overall to an NHL. Can you let the listeners know, Brad, how good this guy actually is, and like what his career in the NHL might look like?
He's unbelievable. He is unbelievable. He's built. He's still a kid. I mean, give it to
Yeah.
him, kid.
Yeah,
He's a truck, man. I think he's 215. Fast, strong. I mean, he would dangle half of us in practice, and it wouldn't even seem like he was trying. Like,
Yeah.
he's going to be something special. And I think the comparison of Evgeny Malkin is perfect. This kid is
Yeah.
a power forward who can score. He's good, man. He's going to live up to it. He's going to do some damage in the show, I believe.
I like that. Yeah, that's wicked. How was he around the room? Like obviously, like obviously he knows he was good, but like was he a good guy around the room? Like you could talk to him like no problem.
well,
Like
of
kind
course he's
stuff.
gonna say yes to that. He's gonna
Well,
throw him under the
I'm
bus.
just wondering. I'm just
No,
wondering.
no, you know what? Give it. Like, honestly, I have no ties anymore. I would have said, but he's a great guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he really was. He's a really laid back guy. You know, you can have guys who have exceptional talent like that who are, by the book. I'm not going out. I'm not having
Yeah.
a couple beers.
Yeah.
My career's at stake type thing. But this guy, he was great, man. He was, he's fun to be around. He was jokes. Obviously, he was serious when he needed to be serious. So, all around, just a good guy.
Good stuff. And how was Stillman compared like Coach Stillman compared to Stan?
Yeah, so they're both pretty I'd say old school coaches. I mean, Stilly, he doesn't care who you are, you don't play good,
Yeah.
you're playing, you know what I mean? I think that's where they're a little bit different. Stan lived and died by his older guys.
Really? Eh? Okay.
So you could be -7 and he would still play you, you would still be on. Whereas Stilly, you could be Byfield and he'll bench you. He doesn't give a shit. You're not playing that game, you're not playing that game, you know what I mean? But other than that, their philosophies were more or less the same. Same beliefs. So basically, you work hard, you play. If you don't, well, you can sit on the pine.
Yeah. Like that. Good stuff. I love it.
And
All right.
yeah, moving a little bit to the present now, Brad. So you commit to the University of Ottawa. What made you choose this school? Were there any other schools reaching out to you?
Yeah. I talked to most of the schools in Ontario. Talked to Acadia, UNB, a few schools like that out east. But I think Ottawa really caught my eye because obviously the city's incredible.
Oh,
Yeah.
The city's incredible, and obviously what they did last year. I mean,
yeah.
Going to the final, losing in overtime against Waterloo there. So, I knew if I knew if I went to UNB, the possibility of getting scratched was higher. You know what I mean? They
Right.
recruit guys from everywhere, from the AHL, from the East Coast. They get guys, obviously with their reputation. So, I knew that Ottawa was losing a lot of guys, graduating guys. So I knew that I would play more.
Right.
Obviously with what they've built, I'd love to continue that. Continue the legacy they've got going on. So, it was honestly an easy pick for me. I think I came to U of Ottawa February, which is early, very early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, there was not really anything up for discussion. I knew I wanted to come here. I've heard great things about this program, and obviously Sully, the assistant coach, we kind of hit it off right off the bat. So
Good.
Good stuff.
It was an easy choice.
Yeah.
Good.
Was LU on your radar, or were you like, I'm getting out of here. I want to flee the nest.
Yeah, like I told what's his fucking name? The coach there, Duncanson.
Duncanson, yeah.
I said, it's nothing, towards you or your program. I wanted to get the fuck out of Sudbury.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go out and, I didn't really go anywhere in the O. I went to North Bay, you know what I mean? Not far.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to go to one of the big cities.
Yeah. Cool.
Enjoy myself and enjoy my 20s, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that, man. I like that. What program are you taking right now?
I'm in health sciences right now.
Cool. Good stuff.
Nice.
So is there like a goal to continue to play pro hockey, or you're looking into getting into the field that you're studying?
I haven't really given it thought.
Yeah.
Obviously, I do want to. I would love to go in Europe or, Italy or somewhere around there. That's beautiful to play hockey, travel the world. But I honestly haven't given it some thought. You know what I mean? Kind of just taking it day by day. Obviously, with this whole COVID thing, it's
Right.
Yeah.
Puts a damper on things for sure. But I'm kind of just taking it day by day. just enjoying the
Live in the moment, baby. Love it. Yeah. Good stuff.
Last question I have for you, Brad, before we do our little Fast Five segment here is like, how are the teammates so far? Is it what you expected it to be, or are they welcoming type of
Yeah,
thing?
they're great guys. It's kind of cool. Obviously you see guys from out east, out west, from all over the place. So, no, it's been great. I mean, again, they have really good facilities for university hockey. Their room is very nice.
Right.
Which is nice too. Is they own their own rink, so it's only us and the girls team that play on
That's
that rink.
sick. Yeah.
So you can ice whenever you want, man. Like if you want to go and work on wrist shots for 2 hours, and you are able to. Like you have those resources, which is, you don't see that anywhere else.
That's unreal. Yeah.
The facility is nice. Oh yeah.
Nice. I mean, their equipment, their colors. Their colors are so nice.
Yeah, they are nice. The
They have a
logo's sick too.
They have a bar right above the arena too that you can
go get crushed when you
there.
watch Kaylee. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They moved it?
No.
Yeah, bro. They closed it down.
For good?
For good.
Oh,
no, Tom. It's BYOB now, Tom.
Oh fuck, that place.
I heard many stories about that place.
Oh, yeah. You literally can, like, the tables are right at the glass, so you would get crushed at warm up, and then you can bring a glass of Red Solo Cup into the rink.
Yeah, that's
watch.
unreal, dude. That's so sick.
It's
like nothing beats that.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. Brad, you're getting into the golf game. I saw you around the ID quite a bit. When did you pick it up?
I want to say 3 years ago. Started a bit, and then all the boys went to the ID. So I said, all right, well, I'll join the ID. And that's when I really started liking it. Obviously, you can practice all the time. You can go whenever you want. So that was great. But then obviously last year with COVID, it was tough to get times at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to take my talents elsewhere, and I went to Lively.
Yeah.
So that was okay. That wasn't bad. It was nice to get out there. And the course is, it's nice. It's not ID, but yeah, we're going back to the ID this year.
Love it.
Get going. Hopefully this COVID thing, pisses off, and we can actually.
Well, it looks like we have another golf match.
We got another match. We're gonna have to set up another match. Yeah.
Hey, I'm not too good though. Hey, like, take it easy on me.
No, Brad, I play with you. You're just as good. You're actually better than Chimino, actually. So.
Hey, how about I golf right though? I shoot left in hockey. I golf right. And,
I'm the same
crazy.
way. I'm the same way.
Weird, what did you hit? What did you hit in baseball?
I swing left in baseball.
That's nuts.
That's weird, eh?
Yeah. That's weird. Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah, big time.
Like I couldn't hit a ball left in golf. I couldn't. You couldn't. I couldn't. There's no way.
That's nuts, dude. That's so crazy. Oh my god. Okay, let's get it. So we got our Fast Five. So this is what we do at the end of every interview. We give you 5 rapid fire questions. First thing that comes on your mind, you let us know. Okay.
Right.
All right. Let's do it. All right. Your favorite current NHL player?
Austin Matthews.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Not a movie guy. I'll say Vikings right now for TV show. We'll go with that.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Favorite coach?
Scott Ray.
Okay. Xbox or PS4?
PS4.
Love it. And your favorite Sudbury restaurant?
Wacky Wings, baby.
Wacky Wings. Okay. Some different. I like it.
Wacky.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Okay. Yeah, so that's gonna do it here, Brad. Listen, thanks for coming on. We're gonna have you on again because we'll do some updates from Ottawa, see how you're doing. We'd love to have you on some more stories. I think you got too. So thanks for coming on. It's been a blast, and I'll send it over to Tom.
Yeah, it's been long overdue, Brad. I remember texting you December when we wanted to do it in person, and this whole COVID stuff and the lockdown restrictions kind of put an end to that. So I just want to say thank you. We definitely have to have you back on once you get, hopefully next September, a couple of OUA games in. So
yeah, boys, really appreciate it. Obviously keeping track of what you guys have been up to, and you guys do great things, man. Keep on going, and you do big things. So thanks again for having me on.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome.